Hey everybody, what's happening? Neil back once again with another streaming review for you. And today I've got Moon Knight, episode 1 on Disney Plus. This is the first episode of 6 that we're going to get about this rather obscure Marvel Comics character. Most people haven't heard of Moon Knight unless you are a big comic fan, especially in the 90s, I would say, early 90s, late 80s, is when I first heard about this character. He seemed like Marvel's answer to Batman, but because of the Egyptian gods and connection and all that, he seems more like maybe more like Hawkman, maybe more like Dr. Fate kind of, character. But it's an interesting character. He's a good-looking character, and the acting here, I'm very happy to say, is what really carries this show. Excellent performances here from Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke. And it's quite different, it's quite different from the other MCU Disney Plus shows. There's got to be at least 5 other shows out there on Disney Plus that are related to Marvel nowadays. And it's really cool, actually. I actually enjoyed this first episode anyway. So far, so good. The action scenes and the stunts here are excellent, and that also elevates it along with the acting. Now, I'm going to get to the story here, which is, it's kind of convoluted, but I am going to spoil it. Okay, so spoilers. Thank you very much. Now, moving on, I'm going to start with, how the show begins, which is we see Oscar Isaac's Stephen Grant, who's this eccentric English gift shop employee in London, and he's really callow, and his boss hates him, and he's kind of a pathetic character, it seems. He's having these weird dreams as well. Now, Mark Spector, who is actually the alter ego of Moon Knight, this is the real guy here. He's got this identity disorder, so he thinks he's Stephen Grant, this callow gift shop employee. It's the whole story itself is quite a mystery involving Egyptian gods. We don't really know everything, of course, but I'm certainly intrigued here. Isaac is really fantastic as the callow Brit Stephen, and as the awesome American badass fighter Mark Spector too. He gets to do his American accent, and he gets to do his English accent, so that's great. Nice little diversity there for him. Must have been a lot of fun. Hawke is also awesome. Ethan Hawke, he plays this character called Arthur Harrow. Now, he's this cult leader who seems to worship a goddess named Ammit, and he judges people by swinging this pendulum between their arms, and if they fail, I guess, if they're judged poorly, they're killed. So, obviously we got a cult crazy psycho on our hands here, and he sees Moon Knight as a problem. He sees him as an obstacle. Moon Knight himself is actually a conduit. He's like an avatar for this god Khonshu, who's played by F. Murray Abraham, it's kind of weird. It's kind of convoluted. Like I said, when it comes to all this Egyptian god avatar stuff, like, okay, I'm the avatar of the moon god. Sounds good. He's also got this, identity complex disorder, and that's kind of original. I don't recall seeing that too often. I think we've seen that in a few other things, but not really prominently out there. Certainly not in superhero fare. Now, just in terms of the end of the story here, the end of episode 1, anyway, the goldfish problem, which is named after that because he actually has a goldfish, Oscar Isaac. Anyway, the ending is, it involves Harrow tracking down, Grant in this case, so he finds Stephen Grant at his job at the museum, and Harrow confronts him with some of his cronies there, and he sicks this Anubis jackal monster on him, and Grant, being this callow, scaredy cat kind of pathetic dude, he runs away, and he's convinced he's gonna die, but then the voice in his head changes his mind. He goes, no, guess what? I'm Mark, and I'm taking over. Let me take over, and you'll be fine. You won't die. I can handle this creature. And he does. He transforms into Moon Knight, and the transformation is actually pretty cool. And winds up killing the Anubis creature, this jackal thing. So that was pretty cool. I think the best scene, though, in the whole episode, actually, is the car chase, because they do this wonderful sequence where they're playing Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by Wham! During the car chase scene. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't think I've seen that song used, or Wham songs at all, used in that way for these, these stunts, these incredible chases where a lot of people die. So, yeah, interesting, right? I mean, the action scenes and the stunts are excellent. The story, well, so far so good. I like what I see so far. Don't know kind of where it's going or where it's going to end up. With the multiple personality thing, and where, the head, the voice that is inside his head is going to take over, Mark, and it's, obviously other characters are going to come into play here, and they're going to try to seek out Mark because they know Mark. And, there's time jumps for him. Like he loses 2 days of sleep at one point, and he winds up ruining a date and everything, and winds up seeing really stupid, like, well, it's only Friday. What do you mean? And it's like, no, it's Sunday, you fool. Oh, God. So, yeah, interesting. That is the word for this show. So I'm going to sum it up here, and I'm going to say that Moon Knight, pretty cool, good-looking show, great acting, great stunts. What's not to love so far, right? So far, so good. I'm going to give Moon Knight an 8.5 out of 10. Hey, that score could go up depending on, how I retroactively watch the series once it's all done. Once all the 6 episodes are done, then I'll go back and maybe do a hindsight review of the whole series. Maybe. We'll see if I have time, if anyone cares, right? But I still do these reviews for fun regardless. I don't care about the views, but I do thank you, whomever you may be, for listening to this quick review of Moon Knight. And again, this is Neil, signing off. Until next time, peace.